Hi friends, welcome back to i-TUTOR NCERT series. Today we are going to discuss Class 8 Geography NCERT Chapter 1 Resources. Water, electricity, rickshaw, vegetable and textbook have something in common. They have all been used by you, so they have utility. Utility or usability is what makes an object or substance a resource. All resources have some value. Value means worth. Some resources have economic value and some do not. For example, metals may have an economic value, but a beautiful landscape may not. Okay, so metals and landscape have values, but metal have economic value, but at the same time, a beautiful landscape may not have economic value. Both are important and satisfy human needs patented. Time and technology are two important factors that can change substance into resources. Both are related to the needs of the people. People themselves are the most important resource. Okay, so time and technology. These two are important factors that can change substance into resources. And here people themselves are the most important resources. It is their ideas, knowledge, inventions and discoveries that lead to the creation of more resources. Each discovery or invention leads to many others. The discovery of fire led to the practice of cooking and other processes, while the invention of the wheel ultimately resulted in development of newer modes of transport. So these are some of the introduction of this chapter. The technology to create hydroelectricity has turned energy in fast-flowing water into an important resource. Okay, so these are some introduction about the resources. Now, moving to the chapter, types of resources. Resources are generally classified into three types. First one is natural, second one is human-made, and third one is human. So, resources are three types. First one is nature, second one is human-made, and final one is human. First one, natural resources. Resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. So what are natural resources? Resources that are drawn from nature, okay, that are drawn from nature and used without much modification. Okay, so these resources are used without much modification and these are called natural resources. Example, the air we breathe, the water in our rivers and lakes, the soils, minerals are all natural resources. So what are the examples of natural resources? First one is water in our air. Okay, first one is air, then water, then soil and minerals. Okay. Many of these resources are free gift of nature and can be used directly. In some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. Okay, so this is the introduction about the natural resource. What are natural resources? Resources that are drawn from the nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. For example, air, soil, water, minerals. Now, many of these resources are free gift of nature and can be used directly. Many of the natural resources can be used directly. But in some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. Now, natural resources are classified into different groups depending upon their level of development and use, then origin, stock and distribution. So, the natural resources are again classified into different groups depending on level of development and use, origin, stock and distribution. Now, on the basis of their development and use, resources can be classified into two groups. First one is actual resources and second one is potential resources. Okay, so with the on the basis of development and use, resources can be classified into two groups, actual resources and potential resources. First one, resources are classified into three, natural, human-made and human. And the natural here the natural resources are classified into different group depending upon level of development and use, origin, stock and distribution. Now Basis of their development and use, resources are classified into again two groups, that is actual resources and potential resources. What are actual resources? Actual resources, as per the name denotes, actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known. So here the quantity is known, that is called actual resources. These resources are being used in the present. So actual resources are used in the present. The rich deposit of coal in rural region of Germany and petroleum in West Asia, the dark soil of the Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra are all actual resources. Okay, because we know the quantity of these things or quantity of these resources. So that's why they are known as actual resources whose quantity is known. Okay, so what are actual resources? Actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known. These resources are being used in the present. For example, rich deposit of coal in rural region of Germany and petroleum in the West Asia, the dark soil of the Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra. Okay, that's in India. Now, second one is potential resources. Potential resources are those whose entire quantity may not be known and these are not being used at present. Okay, so what are potential resources? Potential resources are those resources whose entire quantity may not be known. Okay, so its quantity may not be known and these are not being used at the present. Okay, so they are not used at present. These resources could be used in future. Okay, they could be used in future, but they are not used in present. The level of technology we have at present may not be advanced enough to easily utilize these resources. So our technology and technology present today is not that much advanced, okay, to easily utilize these resources. For example, the uranium found in Ladakh is an example of potential resource that could be used in the future. Okay, so the uranium found in Ladakh, that's an example of potential resources. Now, high-speed winds were a potential resources 200 years ago. So, high-speed wind is a potential resource 200 years ago. Today, they are an actual resource and wind farms generate energy using windmills in Netherlands. Okay, today they are an actual resource and wind farms generate energy using windmills like in Netherlands. Windmills in India are in Nagarkoil in Tamil Nadu and on the Odisha coast. Okay, so that's about the potential resources and actual resources. Okay, now this is how we classify this. This is depending on the level of development and use. Now, second one is based on the origin. Based on the origin, resources can be abiotic or biotic. Okay, so based on the origin, resources can be first one abiotic or biotic. Abiotic resources are non-living while biotic resources are living. Okay, abiotic means non-living. Okay, abiotic, that is non-living. Non-living. And biotic means living. So, soils, rocks and minerals are abiotic. Okay, so soils, rocks and minerals, these are abiotic, that is they are not living. But plants and animals are biotic resources. Okay, plants and animals are biotic resources. Now, natural resources can be broadly categorized into renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, so natural resources can be classified into renewable as well as non-renewable resources. What are renewable resources? Look at the definition. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. Okay, so these resources are or those resources renewed quickly or replenished quickly. So these are called renewable resources. Some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities. Okay, so some of the renewable resources are unlimited and are not affected by human activities, such as solar and wind energy. Okay, so humans can't affect these resources, that is for example solar and wind energy. Yet careless use of certain renewable resources like water, soil and forest can affect their stock. Okay, so the sunlight, that is solar and wind energy, are not affected by human activities, but in certain resources like water, soil and forest, they can affect their stock because of the careless use of human. Water seems to be an unlimited renewable resource, but shortage and drying up of natural water sources is a major problem in many parts of the world today. Okay, so water seems to be an unlimited renewable resource, but shortage and drying of natural water, this makes a major problem in many parts of the world. Now, second one is non-renewable resources. These are resources, those which have a limited stock. So non-renewable means they have a limited stock. Once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. So once the stocks are ended or once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. So that's why they are known as non-renewable resources. Since this period is much more than a human lifespan, such resources are considered as non-renewable. Okay, so this is a big 1000 years. 1000 years means a much more period than human lifestyle or human lifespan. Sorry, human lifespan. So such resources are considered as non-renewable. Example: coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Okay, so these are some example of non-renewable resources. On the basis of their distribution, resources can be ubiquitous or localized. Okay, so next one is on the basis of the distribution. Okay, distribution. Resources can be ubiquitous or localized. Resources that are found everywhere, like air we breathe, are ubiquitous. Okay, so what are ubiquitous? That is resources that are found everywhere, like air we breathe, that are ubiquitous. But those which are found only in certain places are localized, like copper and iron ore. Okay, so these are called localized. They are only seen in or they are only found in certain places. For example, copper and iron ore. So these are localized. Okay, so that's the classification on basis of distribution. Okay, ubiquitous or localized. Now, the distribution of natural resources depends upon number of physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude. The distribution of resources is unequal because these factors differ so much over the earth. So the distribution of the natural resources that depends on physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude. So the distribution of resources is unequal in everywhere because these factors are differ in many places. So that's why the distribution are unequal. Now, so we discussed about the natural resources. Okay, again look at this. Natural resources. Natural resources are, what are natural resources? They are used without much modification, and for example, the air we breathe, the water in our river, and soils, minerals, etc. Okay, they can be directly used. Now, they are classified into two different groups depending upon their level of development, origin, stock, and distribution. Now, depending upon the level of development, there can be two groups: actual resources and potential resources. Then, second one is based on the origin, they are abiotic and biotic, and they are also categorized into renewable and non-renewable. Then, final one is on the basis of distribution, they are ubiquitous or localized. Okay, so this is about natural resources. Now, second one is human-made resources. Sometimes natural substances became resource only when their original form has been changed. Iron ore was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. People used natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as human-made resources. So, what are human-made resources? People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicle. So these are known as human-made resources. As the name denotes, human made this. So that's why the name human-made resources. Technology is also a human-made resources. Okay, so technology is an example of human-made resources. Now, human resources. People can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have knowledge, skill, and the technology to do so. That is why human beings are a special resource. People are human resources. So, people are the human resources because they have knowledge, skill, and technology. Okay. So this creates more resources. That's why people are also considered as human resources. Education and health help in making people a valuable resource, improving the quality of people's skill so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. So what is called human resource development? When we improve the quality of people's skill so that they are able to create more resources. Okay, if we improve the quality of people's skill, then they create more resources. So this is called a human resource development. Okay, so that is the three types of resources. First one is natural resources, second one is human made resources, and final one is human resources. Okay, what is human resources? Human resource refers to the number, that is quantity and ability of the people. Okay, so what is human resource? It denotes the, or it refers the number and ability of the people. Okay, number means it's a quantity and ability means mental and physical ability of the people. So that is human resource. Now moving forward, conserving resources. Okay, so we already discussed about the use of resources. Now how to conserve these resources? Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Okay, so using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed. Okay, so give time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. Okay, so what is sustainable development? Balancing the need to use of resources. Okay, we control the use of resources and conserve it for our future generation. Okay, we should balancing the need to use resources and also conserve some for the future generation. So this is called a sustainable development. There are many ways of conserving resources. Each person can contribute by reducing consumption, recycling and reusing. Okay, so reducing, recycling and reusing. This make this process more benefiting. Ultimately, it makes a difference because all our lives are linked. Okay, so what are the ways to way for the sustainable development? First one is conserving. Now, reducing, recycling and reusing. Okay, reduce, reuse and recycle. These are the 3 R's. Okay, 3 R's which can help for the sustainable development. What are the 3 R's? First one is reduce, then reuse, and final one is recycle. Now, the future of our planet and its people is linked with our ability to maintain and preserve the life support system that nature provides. Therefore, it's our duty to ensure that all uses of renewable resources are sustainable, the diversity of life on the earth is conserved, and the damage to natural environment system is minimized. So these are our duties. Okay. Now, look at this. Some principles of sustainable development. First one, respect and care for all forms of life. Okay, we should respect all forms of life and we should care them. Improve the quality of human life. Okay, we should improve the quality of human life. Conserve the earth's vitality and diversity and minimize the depletion of natural resources. Change personal attitude and practices towards the environment. So we should change our personal attitude and practices towards the environment. And final one is enable communities to care for their own environment. Okay, so these are some principles of sustainable development. Okay, so that's about this chapter. If you have any doubts, you can comment below. For more videos, do like, share, subscribe.